All right, guys. So there's nothing better than dropping a live stream on a Saturday with absolutely no warning and out of the blue. But I'm working on episode 14 and kind of want to go over some small items here and there that probably not going to go too much in depth or mention in episode 14 that's going to come out tomorrow. So as you can see, not much has changed actually, except for the big strand of wiring from our wiring harness from hell there. But I wanted to go over some little small items over here, as well as the leak issue that we had, as well as some other little things we got going on over here. So let's go ahead and jump, excuse me, over to the back here. And I wanted to talk just a little bit about what we got going on with the fuel system here. So I ended up picking up some new adapters, some crimp adapters for our 3/8 fuel line that's down here. So I had a buddy who actually helped me lift this bucket on and specifically told him, do not drag the body over the frame. You got to pick your side up. So what ended up happening is a little bit of a weakling. And he picked the body up and he dragged it across the back of the frame. And when he did that, he ended up shearing off the entire fuel system cap, edge connector, which is down there. It's a bit hard to see where it's at. So what I ended up doing is trimmed it back, and instead of it sticking up right over here where it was originally sitting, which was that right there, trimmed it back, and we'll add a new crimp adapter here. But we'll throw it in this pile of mess here because you probably won't find it later. So that's a bit of a fuel line update here. That was a bit of a fiasco. Now, one of the other things that we haven't really tackled since, I believe, episode 10, 11, was when I installed the body here, the fuel system, well, I'm sorry, the brake line system, the bulkhead fitting here was actually touching the body, and it actually damaged the back of the body there. So what I ended up doing is I just threw some washers in here to shift it back, or shift it out of the bulkhead and away from the body. So we fixed that. Again, this isn't anything too sexy here. This is some of the things that we're not going to talk about in tomorrow's full episode drop. So just kind of want to give you guys an update. I know some of y'all might be grinding your teeth trying to figure out what happened to some of this. So let's jump over to the front. Now, in our last episode, we had a pretty significant leak on the lower feed line from the water pump here. So I'm still kind of juggling this, trying to figure out what's going on here. I did get some extra pipe, and this is all cut to fit here. But we're probably going to end up having to adjust it. But what I'm having is these clamps right in here, I think from the excessive vibration, is actually working the bolt out. It's not that the line is failing, but it's the fact that the bolt is getting undone and coming out, which is loosening up. So I ended up putting a wrench to this, and I found that all of these, 1, 2, 3, and 4, were loose. And when I say loose, I mean it took a good 20, 30 turns to retighten these up. Now, before we started it, in episode 13, these were torqued down. I mean, they were in hard. So we'll start it again tomorrow when I do the video drop. Still kind of working at that one, and we're going to see if it holds there. Otherwise, we're going to replace this line. I'll show you what I got going on with that as well. So jumping to the wiring harness from hell. So for those of you guys that are thinking about probably doing this yourself, if you're going to go the route, again, we're building the kit, right? We're doing the kit based on their instructions. Just make your own wiring harness. There's a lot of stuff that's left over, and trying to track where a lot of this stuff is going. It feeds in, feeds out. It's pretty much all over the place. What I didn't do yet was drill the body down here to feed everything through. So I'm still kind of that everything is still kind of in place and where it needs to go, and then we'll do some final wiring, which I'll show you guys tomorrow. So everything is really based off of these plans here. I would say not detailed, but possibly detailed. Some of them are, let's just say they kind of contradict each other. So that's kind of what we're basing ourselves off of here. And being colorblind, whew, man, this kind of sucks. But let's jump over back here one more time. Oh. Now, these lines here are going to be all your headlights, tail lights, all that stuff. And they give you a pretty good amount here, but it's still going to have to be trimmed up. We still have to figure out, because we're using LED bulbs that we installed in episode 7, it's a little bit different. We're not going to be using a standard dimmer because you can't quite actually dim these. And we're using a halo ring and a few other things as well. Now, for other major, somewhat, well, maybe not major issue, we do have a leak right down there. And it's coming from our third member. And it's coming from the front of the third member. I can't really get the camera in there for you to see. But the front seal right in here is actually leaking. So I reached out Speedway. They sent another one. Unfortunately, we're going to have to dump the fluid. Now, after we ran the transmission in the last episode you guys saw, it actually worked. Look what it decided to do a couple days later. Oh, yeah. So it's leaking transmission fluid. Still trying to track that one down. Haven't quite figured out where exactly. It's kind of wanted to give you guys an update. That's what we got going on. Be on the lookout tomorrow. I'll drop the full episode 14. We'll be doing harnesses, all that fun stuff. Start it up, run it up, and track down some gremlins. See you then.